Let's talk about two things this time: integrity and work ethics. Why I am talking about these two things, or why am I clubbing these two things together? Because as the name also says, these two are very closely related. Integrity and work ethics are very closely related. Many of times it looks similar actually, right? So let's take both of them, simultaneously, I would say just one after another. Let's start with integrity. What is the definition of integrity? A simple definition of integrity is always doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Let me give a very simple example. Very simple. Imagine, of course, now COVID situation, everybody is working from home. In fact, that can be the best example. Earlier, when we used to work from office, if you need to take a break, or if you want to come a little late or go early and all these things, many of the organization, there is a norm of taking approval from your supervisor, right? Now, imagine your supervisor is not there in the office on that day. Does it mean that you can leave anytime you wish, or can come anytime you wish? Or now, since now we are working from home, does it mean that we can log in as per our rather whims and fancies, or log off as per our whims and fancies? No, we can't, right? So what it says, even no one is watching me, what am I doing, when am I coming, when am I going, and all these things, I will still do the right thing. That is a simple definition, the simplified version of the definition. So people with integrity follow moral and ethical principles in all aspects of life. So people who possess a high level of integrity, it is immaterial or irrespective of their workplace or home or personal life or professional life, everywhere you will find that their integrity level is high, right? Now, always remember few points to showcase your integrity and demonstrate consistency. Very important. The consistency word is very, very important, very critical, right? If you do the integrity, if you demonstrate the integrity part only once or twice or once in a blue moon, can you be considered as a person with high integrity or high ethical standard and all? No, it will not be. But if you are demonstrating it regularly as a practice, as an habit, in that case, yes, you will be considered as a person with high level of integrity. So what are those things? One, keep your word or promise. So always ensure that your promises are met. If you make a promise, make sure that you meet that, right? Meeting the commitment, we can say. Second, be accountable even for your mistake. Again, very, very important. See, many of times, or most of the time, I will say, we take ownership, we take pride when things are going right, when things are going good. We take ownership, we proudly take, yes, I have done this. Now, when we have made a mistake, what do? Either we try to hide it, or given an opportunity, we try to pass the buck to someone else, right? So what we need to do is, a person with high level of integrity, what he or she will do is, even if he or she has made a mistake, of course not proudly, but he or she will have enough courage to stand up and say, yes, I have made a mistake, I have goofed this up, I have screwed this up, right? What we are going to get in return? respect. And not only respect, people will trust you. So people will say, yes, what Amit is saying is correct, because even if we make a mistake, he always owns that up. He always accepts that, yes, it is my mistake. So when he is saying that no, all is good, in that case, definitely all is good. So that kind of belief will be created, or I mean, you will have that kind of belief. Number 3, lead by example. Your working style and attitude towards others will help to set a solid foundation for what you value most in others, especially people who report to you, right? In simple word, we can say walk the talk. So what you are saying, you yourself must demonstrate the same thing. As simple as that. Number 4, be ready to work. Many of us know people who are willing to delegate but hesitant to get their hands dirty. In the delegation part, we have seen various different stages of delegation, various different myths of delegation, the reason for not doing delegation, reason for doing wrong delegation, all these things, if you remember. So here the point is, if you are delegating, it doesn't mean that you do not want to do that task or job, or you do not have skill to do that task or job. You have skill, you want to do, but you are delegating either to free up your time so that you can take up which is more important for the organization, for the team, or you are delegating to bring your team members up, I mean develop your team members rather, or you are delegating because you cannot handle all these things, right? uh, my view here is, what I have practiced throughout my career is, whatever task my team used to do, I had a hands-on exposure or experience for each of those things. I knew how to handle each of those tools, how to use each of those tools, how to write codes, everything. I may not remember all the syntaxes, I may not remember all the nitty-gritties, but yes, I am aware. Very important. If you are aware, then only you will be able to mentor your team. Again, very, very, very important part, right? All right. Next, always follow the ethics, be it ethics of the organization or personal, always be honest and maintain it. Self-explanatory, nothing to explain further. Follow organizational policies. We may love or hate the policies, but as a disciplined team leader or a manager, always respect and follow the policies. This is another example of leading by example. Let's talk about an example again. Jay is a person who always preferred to come to office on time. But his manager, Rita, never come to office on time. But she asks her team to come to office on time. So let me stop, let me take a pause here. Do you feel Rita's behavior, attitude is right? Is it ethical? No, because she is not leading by example. She says everybody should come to office, come to work at 9 in the morning, for example. She herself comes at 10, 10:30, 11. It's not that she is taking calls from home early in the morning, from early in the morning, which goes till 9, 9:30, and then she gets up, I mean, dresses up and drives to reach office and all these things, because of which she is coming late. No, not like that, right? She is kind of trying to take the advantage of being senior in the group or being a manager. I am manager, so I can come whenever I want. That's not right. Correct? So we must walk the talk. Rita must lead by example. When she asks her team to come on time, she must follow the same. Now let's come to the ethics part. As I was telling that these two are very closely related. Now if we talk about the work ethics, the first thing we need to remember regarding the work ethics is, as a team lead, as we are discussing right now, we must walk the talk. If we are preaching something, we must follow the same. If as a team lead I am asking the team member to be punctual, then we must be punctual at the first place as a team lead. The second point is maintain a very high level of ethical standard. For example, I need 20 A4 papers from my personal use at home. Let's say I cannot take those papers from the office printer tray. It looks very simple. We may feel what's in it, what is there. I mean, taking 20 papers from the printer, office printer, where my organization is a multi-billion-dollar organization. Every year, the annual revenue is say 15 billion, 20 billion dollar. What is there in 20 pages? Well, that is not a question of cost. It is not the question of the cost of the paper. It is the question is, am I supposed to take office resources for my personal use or not? Next important point is, I think next important part is discipline. If as a team lead we are not following the discipline, then we cannot expect the team members to be disciplined. The team lead must behave professionally. It is very important to maintain a professional relationship with the team members. Never be biased to one individual. Now here, one tip from my experience. If any of your relative, very close relative, have the required skill to join in your organization, fantastic. Get him or her in. But preferably, if you are a team lead, preferably do not take him or her in your team as your junior. He or she can be your peer group. It is at the same level, or if he or she is working as a junior resource, then in some other team. Why so? Because simply, if your relative is working under you, then number one, he or she might get deprived many of times, because you always feel that if I agree with what he or she is saying, people will say you are biased. Or you might be genuinely become biased. Third, whatever you do, other people, there will be few people who will say Amit is biased for him or her because he or she is his relative. So why to take that chance, or why should we get into there? Again, getting your relative to your or in your organization is absolutely fine, but not in your team as your junior. I mean, he or she should not report to you, as simple as that. Always remember that as a team lead, you will be responsible for the performance evaluation for the team members. So if team lead is biased about one person or have any emotional connect to the one team member, as I was discussing, then there will be gross injustice for the other team members or even for that individual as well. That will be unfair, and as team lead, we cannot afford to do that. Next part is productivity. As team lead, we are responsible about the productivity of the entire team. Remember that the productivity of the entire team is a collective productivity. All the team members must contribute towards the same goal. Maintain high work ethics to ensure that the productivity of the team is maintained and the quality of the work is achieved. So, With this, we have completed these two modules, and also with this, we have completed the supervisory or managerial or junior managerial skills workshop as well. So if we try to summarize very quickly, what all things we have learned? We have learned from the beginning, if we say, we have learned what do we mean by a junior manager or a team lead, right? Then second is, what are the key responsibility area of a team lead? Important, we have done that. Then we have understood the other roles and responsibilities of a team lead as well. And finally, we have talked about a few areas which we have covered in this particular course. Which are those things? Delegation, ability to delegate or delegation, communication, both verbal and non-verbal, organizational skill, and just now we have completed integrity and work ethics. Remember, leading team, managing people is something which requires practice. There are few people for whom they have an inborn leadership qualities. They are kind of born leaders, right? From their school days, their early childhood, in their school days, people used to pick that person or these kind of people as their leader, as their captain, and so on and so forth. For them, it's natural. It comes naturally. Now, does all the team leads or all the managers are born leaders? No, may not be. Maybe, may not be. So if I'm not a born leader, does it mean that I can never be a team lead? I will never be able to manage people? No, not at all. So here, by following these steps, understanding, learning, and practicing, we can become an effective team lead or effective manager. I am not saying that these are the only things that we should follow or we should know, right? No, not really. But these points or these sections will definitely lay the foundation for you to become an effective team leader or an effective junior manager. Then gradually you will learn by yourself. In fact, before you are getting promoted to the team lead position, you yourself have experienced a lot of things. You definitely would have worked with some great managers or great team leads whom you respect, whom you feel that they are the fantastic or perhaps the best leads in the world, at least for you. And you might have misadventures, I would not say misadventures, unfortunate incidents of working with such team leads whom you hated from the bottom of your heart. You said, I wish this fellow was not there in the organization at all. Now, definitely those experiences are also valuable experience. Why? Because when you become team lead, you definitely want to repeat those things. So you yourself can identify, okay, these are the good things I have seen, I have observed, I have experienced, and this is bad thing I have experienced. So while I am practicing, I will ensure that I will avoid bad things and take up the good things as much as possible. Along with that, this course, whatever we have learned, will lay the foundation, right? All right then. So happy learning. Have a good time. Practice and become a great team lead, and gradually you can, I am sure you can become a fantastic leader as well, right? Okay, then thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Have a good day.